I'm proud of our team tonight. I thought our second half was really good, and just give Boston College a ton of credit. They came out very physical, very ready to play, and they knocked us back a little bit. And I thought it was great for us just to be in that environment, that experience. I thought for Coop, by the way, what a special turnout. Look, this is as close as we're going to get to Maine, and we've been here a lot. The representation of Duke fans has always been great. This was, I think, the best I've ever seen it, and I think a lot of it has to do with Maine, and so that was a pretty special thing to see. And obviously, he backed it up with his play. It's easy to talk about the scoring. For me, it's the blocks, the rebounds, the timely baskets, his feel for stepping up at the right time, the poise that he has throughout the game. I was really proud of Tyrese. Tyrese is coming off a couple games. He didn't play necessarily his best, or really he didn't make shots. And as a player, when you're not making shots, it's easy to think about that. And he's been busting his butt every day working. And I thought he had a great overall game. The points came with his competitiveness, his defense, everything else that he did. So a lot to learn from, a lot of things we can do better, but give Boston College credit for really scoring in our paint and making us work, and I'm proud of our team for stepping up, especially in the second half.
Cooper, did you expect the turnout, and did you have a little extra juice on that?
Yeah, I think I expected it. I heard from a lot of people leading up, and I think all the way back to sometime last year, there were people talking about coming to this game. So I was kind of expecting it. It was just a huge turnout. I'm just really grateful to have such a support system from the state of Maine.
Cooper, being back home, being in your home region of New England, did you feel any pressure coming into this game?
No, I wouldn't say I felt any type of pressure. For me, it was more of just a blessing to be able to come out and see a lot of familiar faces in the crowd and people I knew. Just gave me more confidence than anything.
Coach, you mentioned Tyrese. I wanted to ask about his performance, especially in the first half there. It seemed like he made some big plays when the team needed it most. Can you just talk about his leadership and his poise in those
Yeah, well, look, we were struggling there in that first half. They were scoring pretty easy. We weren't. And so his baskets were huge for us. And, really he picked up his second. I'm typically, more aggressive. But we found a good enough rhythm. I didn't get him back in. I probably could have, and that's something I'm going to look at. That's on me. But I got him back for the last play of the first half. The good news is he was fresh, the start of the second half, and I thought he had a really good energy to carry that forward.
John, what about the defensive performance tonight? They got in the lane a lot in the first half. You didn't have Malik Brown, Kaman, and Pat both got in foul trouble in the second half. So how did you guys have to make your adjustments there and found success in the second half?
Well, they ended up with 28 points in the paint. I bet they had almost all of them, this beginning of the second half, those first few minutes and then the first half. And so I think it was a combination of a lot of things. Our post defense has to be better. We have to just straight up guard the ball better. But most importantly, we weren't moving 5 guys on a string like we have been. And so that's something, that we have to get back to practice. We have to take a jump with that. But I thought really the difference from that point forward, whatever it was, 15 minutes to go in the second half, around there, our connectivity was so much better. Our intention to protect the paint was really good, and because of that, we got separation.
Cooper, you had that moment, you made the three-pointer with about 6 minutes left, put you up 25 at the time. It came right after the block shot technical foul moment, and you looked particularly intense and celebratory at that point. And you could probably see from that point a lot of Duke fans that were still there as BC fans walked up. What's going through your mind, knowing what you kind of hoped tonight would be as an experience, and at that point realizing you guys were going to win the game at that point, and you'd had a good night? What kind of goes through your mind that the experience kind of lived up to probably what you hoped it would be?
For sure. I think there was, like you said, the moment, like all the fans were sitting there, were really loud. Kaman had kind of sat for a long time with those fouls. He came in, had a huge rebound, and then hit me for the 3. So, there's a lot of energy, especially coming after that call, whatever that was, just a learning experience to then come back, stay focused, and just knock down a shot.
Did you get an explanation on the tee?
We're not going to talk about that, man. But it's, it's well, a ton of respect for the officials, and we'll keep it moving.
Cooper, growing up in Boston, did you grow up a Boston sports fan?
Yeah, I would definitely say that. I think being from Maine and New England is kind of the closest thing that we have to like a professional team. So I was a Celtics fan, Red Sox fan, Patriots fan, which was very nice growing up. So
We saw you at the
follow up on
Celtics
that
game
really
too
quick.
yesterday. Did you get a chance to talk to Tatum, Bancaro, and what advice might they have given you?
yeah, I mean we saw them as a team for sure. They just touched on just staying hungry and staying prepared. It's a long season, and just to keep going.
Cooper, we saw you in Maine last year, and we had a great experience. How did this experience compare to when you came up to Portland last year?
Yeah, I would say a little bit different, obviously. That was in Maine. But I would compare this a lot to being in like the hoop hall with Marbury the last 2 years, and just seeing such a big turnout of people that I know showing up and supporting in such a huge way.
All right, right here.
Cooper, I saw that you were at the Celtics game last night. I just wanted to know what you took away from that experience, and if you have a relationship with Jason Tatum at all, with him being a Duke guy as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a great experience for me and our team to be able to go and have that experience and watch, and we were able to take away a lot of things from both teams, obviously Paolo and Tatum especially, wearing line. Just being able to see them after the game as a team was huge. That was a great experience.
Go ahead, right here.
Cooper, can you talk about your mindset coming into the second half? What did you decide to kind of focus on to help the team turn it around and get that offensive spark going?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just a really physical game. We went into halftime thinking about that, and just coming out, being stronger with the ball, and just playing more physical ourselves.
All right, right there.
Coach, when you have a weapon like Cooper, you tend to learn as the season goes on how to better utilize him. Could you just talk about that process for yourself?
Well, look, he's the thing about Coop, you learn as it goes on, but also he just keeps getting better. And he started off the year great, but he's hit just a new level of what he's doing and his assertiveness. And he's I don't know how many guys I've coached, but he's as good as any of them in terms of wherever you put him, he's going to do something really good. It's just a matter of timing and situation and matchups and all that. But the fact that you can put him wherever, it's not just a score. It's the fact that he's going to make the right play. You feel just the trust that's there is at such a high level. So I think what he's done, working at his game and then adjusting to the college game so quickly, he still should be in high school. So for him to adjust that quickly as an 18-year-old is as good as I've seen.
In the back.
Cooper, congratulations. We ran into so many fans from Maine before the game, as far away as Aroostook County. Just talk about that support from your state, and you're the talk of the town.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, like you said, people coming all the way from Aroostook, which I don't know how many hours that is, but I would say a lot. But it's huge, the level of support, and just to be able to see them show up and support just means a lot to me. It just gives me a lot of confidence, and I'm just really blessed.
Right here.
Cooper, it's rare that we see top-of-the-line prospects come out of the New England area. You're in your freshman year, obviously, but now players like A.J. DeBond start coming out of Mass. What does it mean to be part of this current crop of really phenomenal prospects, putting New England on the map and showing the world that this area can produce great talent?
Yeah, I mean, I think it means a lot to me. I mean, especially for me being from Maine. Just trying to prove that it doesn't really matter where you're from, and to a lot of kids from Maine that might be in a similar situation. So when I was in growing up, it's easy to just not believe in yourself or just think you can't do it. But just want to keep proving that it doesn't really matter where you're from, that as long as you just stick to it and keep working, you can make anything happen.
All right, right there.
How big were those points by Isaiah Evans? 14, hit a couple of threes. You got him one that really gave you guys momentum. Just how key is that for him and for you guys moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, Isaiah he's stayed ready this whole year, and he's such a spark off the bench for us. I mean, he's incredibly talented. But I think the biggest thing with him, he's just gotten so much better as the year has gone on. And like you said, him just knocking out shots, just incredibly talented. He gives us such a spark off the bench.
Right there.
Cooper, just think about this whole year overall. I mean, from the beginning to now, were there any pinch me moments, whether it was stepping on camera for the first time, putting on the uniform for the first time? Were there any moments like that you can remember?
Yeah, I mean, I think I have a pinch me moment almost every week at this point. I mean, this was my dream growing up my entire life. to be in the position that I'm in right now. So just trying to enjoy it and just stay in the moment is the biggest thing.
All right, we're going to go here and here, and that's it.
Oh, please.
Hooper, were you getting a good basketball education in the ACC?
You said what?
A good basketball education playing in the ACC?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's incredible league, incredible teams every single night. Every night is a fight and a war. So I mean, it's an incredible league to play in. We'll want to be else.
All right, last one back here.
Coach mentioned how you've made like adjustments to grow your game to where you are now. You've got a guy like Tyrese who's been at Duke for a while. Mason played the national championship last year, and the guy sitting next to you played at Duke for a while too. How have the people around you kind of helped you grow your game this season?
Yeah, I mean, you said Tyrese and Mason. Those are two of the guys that I think have been our greatest leaders so far this year. And I think especially Mason with him. I mean, it might not show up in the stat sheet all the time, but even tonight, just the impact he had on the game and has every single night and every day in practice is so key for us. Just his knowledge and experience, like you touched on, going to the national championship, is so huge. And then Tyrese obviously being at Duke for a couple of years is big as well. I mean, they just helped me so much. Settling in, getting better, getting in the gym with them has just been huge for me.
Can I ask you one question?